Alright guys, so in today's video, we're going to do a couple of demos on Huawei's latest flagship tablet. It's the HUAWEI MatePad Pro 13.2, and this is Huawei's latest flagship PC-level productivity-based tablet, which is supposed to offer you, the best in terms of their performance. It's extra slim, super thin and lightweight, and it also comes with a first flexible OLED PaperMatte display, which is fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about this particular device. Now, first things first, just to give you a bit of a heads up, what you're going to get in this package is the entire office-like PC level kind of accessories. So not only do we have this magnetic cover that goes at the back, and this actually allows you to tilt the device, but you also get that smart magnetic keyboard, and you also get the M Pencil. So this is all a full package altogether to prepare you to, sort of like replace your laptop. Now, for today's demos, I'm going to start off first and foremost with how you actually use these accessories and how it actually helps you in that office experience. Let's head over to the table so I can show you in a little bit more detail. Alright guys, so now that we are at the desk, let's take a closer look at the accessories that came in the box. Now, first and foremost, I want to talk a little bit about this smart magnetic keyboard. Naturally, you have here a fairly large trackpad, which allows you to navigate through the entire UI very smoothly. You can also do a couple of gestures. For instance, use that 3-finger push-up. Check that out. Just push it up, and you actually can get into this menu where you can go through the kind of applications that's currently running in the background. Very, very nice. Now, furthermore, in terms of the M Pencil, it's right here. You can actually charge it by just putting it at the top. And as you can see from the back, I've actually attached on that case or whatever you want to call it, and this actually gives me the full setup. Now, how you can use this entire accessories is first and foremost, this is going to be like your laptop mode, and the reason for that is because it can actually replace your laptop. Naturally, you can tilt the back here to get the perfect angle so that you have your greatest viewing experience. However, if you just want to work a little bit further from this, you can actually pull it apart and you can actually go into split mode. Now, the keyboard here is actually still being connected, so you can see that everything over here is still running even though it's separated from the device itself. Now, how this will work perfectly is, say you have a stand and you can put it up here, and maybe you can actually have your keyboard lower down, and this actually gives you an even better viewing experience in my personal opinion. Now, last but not least, you can also tilt the back here to go all the way down, so you have this sort of like studio experience, and once it's laid down, it's actually a perfect for writing or drawing sketches on the MatePad Pro 13.2. Alright, so now that I've done showing you how you can use these entire accessories, let's go through a couple of office use cases. Now, first and foremost, we're going to go into the WPS Office PC, and this is actually a PC level WPS, and how you can identify that is by looking at the top. You notice that we have this PC kind of UI. It works for your documents, you also have your presentations, and you also have your Excel, and again, you can see all these menus very clearly at the top. Moving on, in case you are someone who's used to Microsoft kind of applications, you also have your PowerPoint over here. So with this, I actually test out this particular slide, which is actually a very heavily animated slide. I'm just going to show you and play it right from the beginning, so you can see that you have all animations going on. It works perfectly fine with any kind of PowerPoint files. Furthermore, let's say you are someone who does a lot of Excel, so let's just go into my Excel over here. So what I have is actually a table of some information, some budgeting to do with my upcoming renovation. So I have all my numbers in here, and it's actually very smooth. Like, I feel that the experience over here is actually smoother than that on an actual computer, because maybe it's because of that display, we should talk a bit about later on. Moving on, if you are someone who likes to take a lot of notes, naturally we have this note app over here, and how it works is actually very simple. Basically it can be used to actually open up PDFs where you can actually do some markups. So I'm sure many of you actually receive PDF files from time to time, and sometimes you just need to circle up stuff, so you can do that directly with the M Pencil. If you need to do some signature going on, you can just sign at the bottom here. So let's say you can sign over here, you can sign over here, and everything is just very smooth, no latency at all, between the M Pencil and the display. Of course, if you want to create your own note, you can also do that. So this is just a list of items that I want to modify to my car, and I've written down a couple of stuff that I want to do, which I have not completed yet. So everything here is just very intuitive. All the applications are already built into the HUAWEI MatePad Pro 13.2. Alright guys, so what I just showed you earlier on is a demo of what Huawei is calling the flagship office experience, which you can get on the MatePad Pro 13.2. Now let's move on to the second point here, and let's talk a little bit about the flagship kind of performance that you're going to get in here, because Huawei is actually offering even more power than before. Now, what's powering the device is actually an octa-core chipset. It comes with 12GB of RAM and 512GB of internal memory, and Huawei is saying that with this kind of setup, you're getting an improved performance of up to 30%. There's also an improved heat dissipation system to help improve the turbo duration, aka longer peak and stable performance, and battery life is is said to be even more efficient than before. So just to test out those claims, I actually played my favorite game, Mobile Legends, on this device, and I noticed a couple of things. Number one, the game itself was able to support ultra frame rate and ultra graphics, which is not something that I expected coming off the MatePad Pro. This is actually really good. Now secondly, even after playing multiple games for almost an hour, I noticed that the heat dissipation was actually pretty good because I did not feel a lot of heat coming off from the back. In fact, there was close to no heat at all. Now this really depends on the kind of games you are playing, and of course if you're playing more graphic intensive games like Genshin Impact, maybe there might be a little bit more heat, but overall the performance is said here to be even better than before. Now number three is that the battery life did not go down a lot. I noticed that the battery life on here is still great, and the only thing that you might want to take note of is that let's say your battery do go off, you do have that 100-watt fast charge that gets the device up to 80% in just 40 minutes, which I think is fairly quick. Now having said all that, let's talk a bit about one more main star of the show, and that's actually in terms of that paper matte display at the front. Now what is going on here is basically this is actually the first ever flexible OLED paper matte display, and like previous paper matte displays, this one has been enhanced further to actually reduce any kind of glare, and it's actually providing even stronger clarity. So just to give you a little bit of a context, I'm going to pull up my own typical tablet, and you can see whenever a huge light source like this hits upon the tablet, there's minimal amount of glare on the MatePad Pro. Furthermore, the reflection is actually reduced to just a soft glow, and ultimately this results in an even clearer display. Now this is great not just because you're able to see very clear and sharp content on the MatePad Pro, but ultimately it's going to provide you even more eye protection, and it has a couple of certifications which you can see on your screens right now from SGS and TUV. Now one final thing that I want to highlight about the display is actually about the bezel surrounding it. Now it's actually very thin, and it gives for a 94% screen to body ratio, but how that translates to real world use is, let's say you are enjoying videos or your Disney Plus, movies and all that on the MatePad Pro 13.2, you're really going to enjoy that immersive experience because it's just so slim. Now before we go, if you are a creative professional and you are someone who likes to sketch or draw on a tablet, now the MatePad Pro 13.2 is going to be one of your best friends, because not only do you get this very low latency M Pencil, but the paper matte display on here is perfect. It feels just like you're writing on paper. You actually feel almost one-to-one when you're drawing stuff on here, and you can actually get very precise and accurate kind of drawings out of this MatePad Pro 13.2. So that pretty much sums up what I have to share with you today in terms of the demos and what's new with the Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2. Again, what you're getting here is a flagship level of its experience. It can actually help you to replace a laptop. Maybe consider this instead of a laptop. Furthermore, you're going to get even stronger flagship performance on here with the better heat dissipation system, even longer turbo duration, and the battery life on here is also fantastic. Oh, and we also have to remember about that display at the front, the first ever flexible OLED PaperMatte display, which reduces a lot of glare and increases the clarity. So anyway, that's pretty much it for today's video. If you have any further questions that you'd like to know about the MatePad Pro 13.2, feel free to hit me down in the comment section below. Thank you once again for watching today's video all the way to the end, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.